First session of the week done. 9K, 5:14 pace, 132 average heart rate, exactly what we needed to kick off the week.
Still have 2 more sessions that I'll fill you in on as we go. Two sessions into our Monday. We got easy run down, Stairmaster down, lunch down. But before we head over to the gym, I want to touch on why I'm cross training so much, why I'm focusing on Stairmaster for that cross training, and why you should too. So right now in the running space, there's a trend that I think is really damaging to the average runner, and that is mileage monster programs. Everyone and their grandma seems to be doing 100-kilometer weeks, and they don't even know why they're doing it. They're hitting 100 kilometers because they see professional runners rip mileage, time on feet, and I get it. If the professional marathoners are doing it this way, maybe you should too. But there's one big difference between you and a professional marathoner, and that is professional athletes' job is to work out. When they're not on their feet running a session, they are focusing on recovery, refueling, and they probably also have access to a lot of other treatments and benefits that maybe you don't as a recreational athlete. My point here is just because it works for the best in the world doesn't mean it applies to you as well. With this marathon build that I'm in right now, I made a very deliberate choice to structure a large part of my aerobic base building in the form of Stairmaster cross training. And Stairmaster isn't a random choice like it's my favorite cardio. I like ergs, stationary bike, swimming, but the Stairmaster is the best choice for cross training for a runner, and here's why. The movement pattern is really similar to the movement pattern while you're running. You're driving your knee up, engaging with your hip flexors, keeping your core tight, and maintaining good posture. Every single thing that makes you a stronger runner is being worked while you're on the Stairmaster. So with that in mind, I designed this program to have 20% or more of my aerobic work time per week on the Stairmaster. Here's what I've noticed in this program so far. I mean, the start of week 9, I have more fitness than I had in week 9 in my previous 2 marathon builds. I have 0 nagging injuries. And on top of that, my fitness is building at a pace that I haven't experienced before. So even though this week is only 77 kilometers of running mileage, it's built to simulate a 100-kilometer week in terms of total aerobic volume. Just to wrap up the Stairmaster, I think it's important to touch on the fact that it is not just me doing this. This was not my idea. Elite marathoners at the Olympic qualifying level are even doing this. And I think that if you look into it yourself, you'll probably find this is something most of us could benefit from. But anyways, it's time for session number 3, full body lift at the gym. Let's get it.
Good morning, Toronto. It is a beautiful Tuesday morning. Run number 2 of 6 of the week. And this is just a 12K easy run. Hey, buddy. My mop be keeping me hot, way too hot. Going to see my boy Santos. Gonna clean it up, see what we come out with. Buzz cut, cornrows, you know as well as I what's gonna happen here. It is Thursday morning, and it's time for the hardest session of the week. Maybe the long run's the hardest session of the week, actually, but the hardest session of the week so far, that's for sure. Today I'm doing 10 by 800 meters, which is traditionally more of a VO2 workout. I want to use this as a gauge for my fitness as we get closer to the race. You might know this workout as the Yasso 800s, and people tend to say that this workout can be a good gauge of your marathon pace. So I want to run a 250 marathon. The premise of this workout is each 800 meter rep I should be able to do in the minute version of my marathon time in hours. So I should be able to run my 800-meter reps at a time of 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Not necessarily an accurate depiction of how fast you can run a marathon, because they're different energy systems. Running for 800 meters at a time times 10 is far more anaerobic and less endurance based than the ability to run 42 kilometers at marathon pace. With that caveat, I don't believe that running this workout successfully means I am fit enough to run the marathon at my goal pace. But if I can't complete these workout reps in the allotted time, it probably indicates I have a lot of work to do to get to that place. I'm excited. I'm waking up every day right now really excited to run and hit my workouts. This is the first time I've been this deep in a marathon prep and felt healthy and felt like my fitness is still improving and I'm not held back by something like an injury or chronic fatigue or chronic pain. So that tells me that I'm doing something right with my programming. I'm recovering well, I'm fueling well, and every workout is becoming more and more fun. Let's see if we can do this. 2 minute 50 second per rep equates to 332 per kilometer. So definitely gonna be challenging. I'm excited to see how we can come out. But let's get it.
If I could do it, then work on you. Get up and make it work. Yo, if I could do it, then work on you. Get up and make it work. Ain't no way that I'm sitting around. It's now or never, I'm picking the first. You can't tell me that I won't make it. Knew that I had the skill since birth. Grinding, came out the mud like Roddy. I had no body, I came from dirt.
Let's see the stats. I don't know if that'll focus, but 13K total work, 413 pace. Here's our working splits. 248, 248, 249, 248, 248, 247, 247, 247, 247, 244. That's the only workout for today. Gonna enjoy some food, some work, get back at it tomorrow. Live first review for Jared of Melonberry Cadence.
Melonberry, it just takes the top slot. There's really no other way to say it. It's not super sweet. Still, I think Coke stays at the bottom. I don't think I'll be ordered in that way, but
On that note, successful speed day. See you tomorrow. What up, dog? We're here in, where are we? Kleinburg, Ontario. Took a trip out of the city for a Friday run with Jared, Fran, and we got 6K easy. Sometimes it's nice just to mix up the situation, run in different places. You need some variety, so I'm gonna soak it up, enjoy the run. This town is so nice. Feels like a cottage town or something. Back in the gym, got the run done this morning with Fran, back in the city. It's usually a full body athletic day, but now that we're getting deeper in the block, I'm kind of isolating it as just an arms and core day. A lot of people say you don't need to hit arms in marathon prep. Obviously, I've listened to that for far too long. We made it. It is Long Run Sunday. Before starting the run, I want to just fly by how I fuel for a long run. At this point of the block, I'm trying to simulate an actual race day with my long runs. So I carb loaded yesterday. This morning I'm going to take in about 100 grams of carbs, and that's going to be through Cadence Core 40 bar, 40 grams of carbs, some honey and a drizzle on there, a scoop of fuel mix for another 25 grams of carbs, and that'll get me to about 75 grams of carbs before I even start today. Every hour during the long run, I'm going to take in 2 Cadence gels, which are each 24 grams of carbs. So it'll be 48 grams of carbs an hour. On race day, I want to be more in the range of 70 to 80 grams of carbs an hour, just because my output's going to be really high, my effort's going to be really high. And I will scale up my carb intake per hour to kind of train the gut as we get closer to the race. And then the last thing for fueling during the run is I'm going to be carrying my hydro flask. Today I'm going to do a citrus electrolyte. I'll milk that for probably the first hour, and then beyond that I'll stop at fountains and top up with water and have some more electrolytes in a can when I get back. So week 9 long run, 32 kilometers total with 8 kilometers of race pace in the middle. This thing might be one of the most clutch pieces of equipment that I have ever purchased. 5 jobs, a pocket, the phone, got it all.
About to jump into 8 kilometers at marathon pace. So here we go. Different game without carbon plates. $24K in, speed reps done, 10K cool down.
Let's go, brother. You got it. Let's go. Home stretch. One more. That wraps up the full week of training. Got one of my favorite meals to celebrate the end of the heavy training week. That was actually the most volume of running I've done in a single week of training since my 100-kilometer fundraising run last October. I feel healthy, I feel fit, my body is recovering well. 80.7 kilometers. Stack that in with the 2 hours and 30 minutes of cross training on the Stairmaster. Next week is week 10, and it is the final deload week of the program. So I'm pulling back the mileage about 10% to kind of reset, refresh, and then we're gonna hop into the last 3 weeks of the block before taper, and those are going to be 3 heavy hitting, fast weeks with a lot of mileage. It's so much fun to be able to go to bed every night excited about what the next day is going to bring, and I really would recommend that anyone else watching this tries to do the same, because it's an unmatched feeling, and when you get some momentum going and you continue to keep your promises to yourself day after day after day, it feels great. Everyone deserves to have something they work towards. We'll wrap up the week of training. I'm going to slam this Pokeball, and I will see you in the next one. Where's my fork at?